Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's Cooper here, one half of FCSN, and today I'm joined by Full Free. We're going to be breaking down all what's happened so far in free agency. We'll definitely have more videos out as more progresses, but it's been a crazy couple of days. The craziest in recent memory, and let's go ahead and just start off with Ndamukong Suh. What are your thoughts on what happened with him in Miami?
I really think it's too big of a contract for a defensive player. He's a definitely a great player on tape, but Miami Dolphins have so much other needs. They're going to go with a suspect offensive line, Ryan Tannehill. And Ndamukong Suh will bring some defensive pressure to that defense, but they also got a lot of other needs that I thought they needed to represent, other than giving him $100+ million contract over 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, you see how it's like $60 million guaranteed in the first 2 or 3 years, and then after that, it's not as much.
There's not going to be a lot they can do with that. I mean, it's going to be tough to build around.
He's got guaranteed money. Yeah. But in my opinion, definitely they have a good defense already, and I think adding Suh, you can't go wrong. I think he's going to be great for them, and the defense, the rich get richer, right? But at the same time, like you said, they had other needs. I give them a C plus B minus, just because I think, like you said, it's Ndamukong Suh. Of course, to make plays for you, but at the same time, you didn't fill your other holes, and because you paid him so much, you're not going to be able to do that as well. What would your grade be?
Yeah, a B or a C. I mean, he's a great player. The film doesn't lie, but that much money, you got other needs. It's going to be tough for the Miami Dolphins to build around.
Yeah, the next one up. This was a big one. This one that got kind of controversial is Jimmy Graham and a pick to the Seahawks, and for Max Unger and a pick. What do you think?
I was surprised, but this is going to make Seattle that much better because Russell Wilson's really never had a guy that has a mismatch in the secondary. And Jimmy Graham is one of the best players, tight ends in the league. You can put him anywhere, and he's going to make a play. And again, for the Saints getting Max Unger, that really helps. And a first-round pick kind of helped them rebuild because last year Drew Brees was getting pressured. He really didn't have time to throw, so maybe this will help Drew Brees in the offense as well.
Yeah, this definitely shows, I think, in my opinion, that the Saints are just headed in a full-out rebuild now, that they're trying to clear the house and just head in a new direction. We'll see how it works out for them. Max Unger definitely a good lineman. But Jimmy Graham to Seattle, like I said, that's Russell Wilson getting a true #1 target, and I think he's going to explode with that. If their defense continues that up and they get that 1-2 punch going with those guys, early favorites.
That's some scary stuff for the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. Next one up, this one I want to talk about. This was a big one in the Jaguars division. We're Jaguars fans, by the way, if y'all didn't know. So we have big news coming up. But Andre Johnson and Frank Gore to Indy. What did you think
Those
about
are some great pickups. Maybe some dudes are shaking these guys off because they're at the end of their career, but I still think they can produce. Maybe Frank Gore, not a full-time guy, maybe 12 to 14 carries, maybe to keep the defense honest against Andrew Luck. And then for the Colts, they just cut Reggie Williams, so they need a sure-handed guy. Who else better than Andre Johnson to go across from T.Y. Hilton?
I mean, it's scary. it really, I mean, that offense is going to be so dynamic. You got T.Y. Hilton, you got Andre Johnson. Ahmad Bradshaw would be back, correct? With the Colts next season?
He'll be there too.
So yeah, they can mix him and Frank Gore up, keep those guys fresh. That's going to be one crazy offense. I'll be all right coming in second place in that division. That was definitely a good move for the Colts. I give him an A for that. I mean, he's added guys. Next up, we got Haloti Ngata to the Lions for a 4th-round pick and 5th-round picks. What do you think?
This would surprise me. It's basically a money dump for them, I think. They just got a 4th-round and 5th-round pick for Haloti Ngata, who's been a great defensive lineman for them. So it was mostly cap space. But the Lions, it was a great grab for them. Not really Suh caliber, but getting a guy right there to clog up the middle.
So what do you think? What direction the Ravens are heading? Because they've let a lot of guys go. With a couple wide receivers. I forgot what was his name. He let some linebackers.
Oh yeah,
go.
Torrey Smith to the 49ers. Yep.
Yeah, now that's how. What do you think they're?
The Ravens, they kind of always do this. They always have young talent, and whenever they think guys can step up in their place, they let guys go. So it's just what the Ravens do. I think they're not really rebuilding, but trying to get more young talent, and let these old guys go.
Yeah, they're close. I mean, last year they showed that they almost compete. I mean, at the top level, they were almost there. Almost gave the Patriots a run for their money. Next up, this one was controversial as well. Sam Bradford in a pick to the Eagles for Nick Foles in a pick. What do you think about
Chip Kelly's making some moves, man. That's all I got to say. I guess they wanted to get rid of Nick Foles. Maybe just wasn't working down there. Could have been a locker room issue. They got rid of LaShawn McCoy and Jeremy Maclin. So Chip Kelly's just kind of refreshing it, doing what he does, and just kind of getting new people and just refreshing the system.
Is that necessary?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if he's crazy or what's going on, but I guess could have been a locker room issue as well. But maybe he just wants to get a whole new bunch of guys in there.
I mean, they weren't bad last year, right?
Yeah.
11-5.
Yeah, they're a good team, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a big drop off between Sam Bradford and Nick Foles. I think they're both like solid quarterbacks, not like elite, but good. I mean, they'll start. I
think Bradford maybe have some more potential, but he's also injury risk.
Yeah,
I think Foles kind of gives the Rams a steady guy with not that potential.
Yeah.
So I guess it could work out for both teams.
Didn't they just pay Sanchez too?
Yeah, they paid him for like a 2-year extension, I believe.
And then there's rumors they might trade out for Mario. Who knows what's going on in Philadelphia these days? It's just a crazy, crazy situation. Next up, we were just talking about this with the Ravens. Torrey Smith for the 49ers, 5 years, $40 million, 22 of that guaranteed. What do you think about that?
Torrey Smith reuniting with Anquan Bolden, who both won a ring together. I think it will help Colin Kaepernick because Colin Kaepernick has a big arm, so maybe a guy can go downfield and challenge defenses and cornerbacks and secondaries.
Yeah, I could see that. They had a solid receiving core already with Anquan Bolden and Crabtree. I just think this gives another guy to extend that defense, like you said. Definitely a good pickup for them. Ravens let another guy go. And then next up, we have Mike Uupati to the Cardinals for 5 years, $40 million, 22.5 of that guaranteed. What do you think about this one for the Cardinals?
It's a great pickup because he's a premier run blocking guard, so I think it will really help them. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with a guy like this. It's a staple guy. You know what you're going to get, and it's definitely worth it. Anytime you get a lineman like that, just consistent as he is, it's always good for you.
They need to get somebody after the great Patrick Willis retiring. So.
Yeah, that was crazy. So, what do you think about that? Go ahead
him and Jake Locker. I mean, Patrick Willis was one of the best for a while, and it just kind of shocked me, him and Jake Locker. It just shows that football's a tough sport, and not a lot of guys can go through it year after year.
Yeah, it definitely is. People underestimate that. It's week to week, especially too.
And he was a player every single Sunday. You never heard of Patrick Willis ever being hurt. Just a great linebacker.
Yeah, and you don't know what he's playing through. You know what I mean? Like he could have been playing through stuff the whole time. Next up, we got 6 years, $63 million, 25 of that guaranteed to Byron Maxwell and the Philadelphia Eagles. What's your take?
I think this might have been a stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a decent player, but the Philadelphia Eagles did rank 32nd in pass defense last year, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, they definitely addressed the need, but is this the guy? If you're going to pay $63 million, is this the guy you want to blow it on? I mean, I'm not saying he's not good. Like he's a solid corner, of course. But
the Eagles have a history of overpaying cornerbacks.
Like Nnamdi Asomugha, I don't know.
I just don't see this working out for them. But anyways,
on to the next one. We got Brian Bulaga re-signing with the Packers. In my opinion, that's good. Their offensive line was spectacular. You can see Aaron Rodgers back there, like all day to throw, like walking around.
Yeah.
When he was hurt, he had all that time, like 5-6 seconds at a time. At any time you can bring those guys back, I think
definitely good for them. And to re-sign Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb could have chased a lot of money elsewhere, but they got him back, got an offensive lineman. That's all the Packers really need to do in offseason this year.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we got Orlando Franklin to the Chargers, 5 years, $36.5 million, 20 of that guaranteed. What's your take?
It's always good to get a lineman. The Chargers, good lineman to get. They could always use lineman help. Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates, and whoever's going to be the running back next year.
Yeah, where do you think the Chargers go with that? Do they go in the draft? Maybe Melvin Gordon, Duke Johnson, Gurley, Devin Coleman, or do they go?
Yeah, I'm seeing them getting a running back in the draft probably.
Definitely. Next up, we were hyped about this one. You got Julius Thomas to the Jags, 5 years, $46 million, 24 of that guaranteed. What's your take? What do you think about this one?
Man, I'm really excited because the Jaguars usually always have money, but they don't really spend it. And I'm glad we got a top free agent guy. The question is, was it Peyton Manning in the offense or is it Julius Thomas? And we're going to have to see.
In my opinion, he's a big athletic basketball type build of a tight end. And guys like that can succeed. I mean, it definitely gives Blake Bortles another option to throw to help him out. Caldwell was quoted saying today that every signing we're making on offense is to help Bortles, like just give him everything he needs to succeed. I don't think Julius Thomas, of course, he's not going to do what he did in Denver. But I think he'll be a solid guy that you have to respect, and it'll open stuff up definitely for that offense.
Definitely, like you said, open stuff up for the other rookies we got that had a pretty good year last year. So it should open up the offense.
Yeah, because the tight end position was not good last year with Mercedes Lewis being hurt. They definitely put some stability there. And I think the contract's pretty solid too. I think it's pretty much a reasonable amount of money. I don't think people say they overpay. I think it's just about right. I don't think it's anything too crazy.
As a Jaguar fan, I'm happy to get Julius Thomas.
Heck yeah. Next up, we got Owen Daniels to the Broncos to replace Julius Thomas. 3 years, $12 million.
Owen Daniels has not played a snap in the NFL, not under Gary Kubiak. And Gary Kubiak is now the coach in the Broncos. Just seems like a perfect fit to replace Julius Thomas.
Yeah, it's a budget deal. 3 years, $12 million. I don't think he'll be as good as Julius Thomas, but he'll definitely be one of those guys that'll make some plays for him. You got Peyton Manning at quarterback. You're gonna catch some footballs. Frank Gore to the Colts. We already addressed this one. I like it a lot. Definitely gonna help them out. Next up, we got Buster Skrine to the Jets. 4 years, $25 million. 13 of that guaranteed to go alongside Darrelle Revis. Let's go ahead and break down both of those signings.
That's a great signing. The Jets have made some moves. Also getting Brandon Marshall. And they got a pick coming up in the draft with Revis going back there. Revis Island screen as a decent corner. They're going to be tough to score on because they had a good rush defense last year also.
With them addressing other needs, if Jameis goes number one, do you see that opening up for Mariota in New York? Because if you're going everywhere else.
And actually, it could be a better fit now with them getting Brandon Marshall. So
definitely. Trent Cole to the Colts. The Colts were making moves, man. That's a couple big signings. What do you think about this?
Cole didn't have that great of numbers last year, but I still think he can rush the quarterback and get some sacks. So Colts are doing some moves to get them at the top.
Yeah, they were pretty close last year, but they can make a couple of moves. They can do it. They can definitely do it. Next up, we got Roy Helu to the Raiders. 2 years, $4 million budget deal. What do you think?
He's a good backup running back. I think Oakland. This is kind of seeing if they can't get DeMarco Murray because Latavius Murray, for not to get confused with DeMarco, had a great season last year, and he could be a good change the pace back to catch some balls, some screen passes. So I think it was a good signing for them.
Yeah, definitely add depth to the running back position. Like you said, if it doesn't work out, you got somebody back there to kind of add some depth in the backfield. So I like this signing. I definitely do. Good deal as well. And then we got Brooks Reed to the Falcons. 5 year, $22 million.
I think it's okay. I don't know. He's a pretty good linebacker, but I guess the Falcons need someone off the edge to get some rush. But I guess it's just an average signing for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I mean, it's not bad. It's not good.
I think they overpaid a little bit, to be completely honest. But he could help them because the Falcons are pretty bad on defense.
And that's all we got. We got some big stuff coming up in the future. I'm sure in these next few days we're gonna find out where DeMarco Murray signs. Hopefully to Duval County. We'll see though, and we'll keep you guys stay tuned here on FC Sports Network. Remember to go follow us on all our social networks. Those links will be down in the description below. This is Cooper.
For free.